Hello, in this video we're gonna go over drawing 83, and this is drawing from Discovering AutoCAD 2017 and 2020, Dix and Riley. In this drawing, we're gonna apply some strategies, what we've learned before in previous exercises. And in this one, we're gonna study the dimensions here. We need to apply text, annotate the drawing. We need to have hatch. Also, we're gonna use different line types. We're gonna use the diameter symbol. I'll show you how to add it. And we're gonna modify the dimensions as well. So let's get started by drawing the first part of the drawing using the polar array. In order to complete that part correctly, we need some construction lines. Okay, so let's have a look at that here. The construction lines, we have two kinds. The first one, we have dashed lines. And we have some hidden lines. We need to distinguish between this. So the dashed lines as a construction lines, and the ones hidden, that means they are part of the that part of the drawing that we cannot see, and this is some part of the section as well that we need to track this point. So we'll use these two kinds of lines, the hidden and the dashed. In order to do that, let's create some layers. I already create some layers here. You can create the same or different layers. As you see here, I created some layers. I changed the line type, some of them continuous, and here for the hidden, and I used the hidden or the ISA dash. Also, I used the center 2 for the dash and point center. If you don't have them, you can load them, click on load, and you pick the line. Also, I always recommend giving unique colors and name each layer. Do not leave it layer 1 or 2, just give it a name. Now, I'm gonna start with the dashed layers, and this is active. It has the check mark there. You can click on the check mark to make it active. And here you go. The first thing, let's start by creating some lines on the dashed layers. I will create here some lines. As you see, my line is still not accurate, so I need to find a way to make it horizontal. I'm gonna use the polar tracking for that, so I click the polar tracking. Okay, then I follow the reference line. Here we need let's make it about 10 units now. Okay, and here you go. Then we're gonna trim and use the rest. So I use that one. Now I need to use another line here. Okay, just to get the center. Also use the reference lines as it is a vertical line. Let's start by drawing this part on the left. As you see here, we have two lines making 22.5 degree, and this is 45 degrees. So we need to make these lines here. Let's use the polar tracking setting here to make sure that we do have this degree 22.50. Okay, if you don't have the 22.50, you go to tracking setting. Okay, click on a new, and you type 22.5, then you hit OK. So this is the way you add more angles. So make sure it's a 22.50. Sometimes it's rounded up, like you will find it at 23. So in this case, you need to change the units precision. So type units and change the units here, the decimal degree. It should be 2 decimal points. So if you do have it less than decimal points, you might have it rounded up, so you get 23 degrees instead of 22.5. Okay. Now, after that, we need to draw this line from the center point. To get this center point accurately, you need to have the object snap on. So make sure you have the object snap on, or F3. Also, we need some points. We need endpoint, we need midpoint. You can change that depending on what you need, or add more, or just uncheck some of them if you want. But for now, what we need the extension. Okay, we need the extension because we need this center point here. So make sure you get this intersection point and you get this X. So get this point correctly. Then you follow the reference lines to get this line on 22 and multiple of 22. Hit the enter or the space bar to repeat and get this point. Now you follow the reference line and you get this degree. Also, let's hit enter again to repeat, and we need the 45 degrees. So we got here some construction lines. When we done that part, let's see here. We need to get a line there, and the distance here 1.241. So let's use offset to create that line. Click on offset, and the distance is 1.241. Then you click on that line and that line. You might not need it all, and let's use the grips here. We don't need all of that, so make sure use the grips. You can make it shorter, and this is the center of the circle that we're gonna use there. Now let's move to another layer, and let's go to the circles. Here we need to draw a circle with the diameter of 2.5. Okay, so click center diameter, and we got this one from here. This is the distance that we have. So some dimensions we have them on the left side, some of them in the section, and some of them on the right side. So we just need to look at the three parts of the drawing. Make sure you pick the correct point, and the diameter here is 2.5. Okay, so we finished the circle outside. Now we need to create the circle inside, and this circle, as if we look here closer, we have the dimension. Okay, so this one is 2.5, and we have the dimensions here. See closer here, we have 1.875. So the circle inside is 1.875, and this symbol is diameter. So let's go back to this drawing, and here we need to draw circle, center diameter, and here you go. The diameter is 1.875. You hit enter, and we got the one. Now we need to draw the little circle here to create the polar array. As you see, the diameter is 0.625. Okay, so here, circle, center diameter, and we need to pick that point that we created. Okay, then the diameter is 0.625. Just you type it on the command line and hit enter. If you do have the dynamic input on, so you might type it on the top. Now, after creating this part, we need to trim. So go to trim. If you're using 22 or earlier versions, so hit enter to select all, or select any edges, then you click. If you're using 2021 version, you don't have to do that. You just go ahead and trim. Okay. So we finished the trimming part. Now it's time to do the array part, and let's see here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 circles, 8 items. Let's go to the modify under the home tab, under the array, pick the polar array, follow the command line, select object, this one. When you finish selecting, enter. Now you pick the center of the array, not the center of the circle. Be careful here, you need the center of the array. That will create several items and open the array creation box, and you can change the items to 8, enter, since they are 8. And here you go, we created that part. It's better not to check associative, so leave it unassociative just because we need to modify each part. Okay, if you make it associative, you cannot modify it, you have to explode it later. So I prefer uncheck the associative, leave it off, then close the array. After that, trim, and again, if you're using earlier versions, you have to select the edges or select all prior to trimming. Okay, now we finished that part. Always I recommend saving your work every couple minutes. Make it a habit, Control S every couple minutes so you don't lose your work. Now we need to use fillet, and the radius for fillet, you find it there on the drawing. Here you go. This is the radius of the fillet, 0.125. So let's do the fillet part. Okay, click on fillet and then check the radius. Type the radius, which is 0.125. Then you need to do all these parts. Okay, if you're doing multiples, okay, then you need to do this all parts. So we are checking every 2 lines. Okay, make sure when you click on the fillet, you choose the correct side. Like if you go to another side, so make it closer to the point that you need to make the rounds. Okay, so here you go. Then you hit enter to finish the fillet. We finished that part. Now we need to create the circles inside. Let's move to the correct layer. Let's make it hidden. And here we need to create some circles. As we look at this section, we find here we have diameter 1.562, then 1.312. Also, we do have these 2 views, the same circles, so we can copy them, but we need to move the circles to different layers. So we don't have to draw it twice. You can draw it once, then move the circles to different layers. Okay. So let's get back to this drawing. As you see on the left side, this circle should be moved to the hidden, okay, as on the left side, but on the second side we will get it back to a different layer. Now let's get back to this layer here, the main layer, and center diameter. We will draw a circle with the diameter 1.562. Okay, and another one with a diameter of 1.312. Okay, so here you go. We draw these 2 circles. Now at this point, I prefer to start drawing the section because we're gonna work together taking some points over there. At this point, I'm gonna draw a line. Okay, but let's make it to the section layer. Let's draw a line somewhere here. Okay, I'm gonna grab this point. Let's do that again. Let's grab this point. I'm gonna go closer and draw a line there. Let's draw this line first. Any line. This line should be vertical line. Okay, now we're gonna grab some points over there using the snap object snap tracking. To track this point, you should have the object snap tracking on. So get this point and you have the intersection. Make sure you have the intersection. So in order to have the intersection, I will take off the nearest now so it doesn't override. So I just need the extension and the intersection on for this particular one. So let's get this point again, line, drag this point, and when you get this intersection, click on it, and we need to have this distance 0.62. Okay, now we need to move down 2.5 and then close that part. So we finished this part of the section. Now we need to get another line, and this line should be grabbed from the top of the circle, the hidden one, and this distance here is 0.125. Okay, then we need to go down, and the distance here is till the end of this circle. Make sure you are taking the reference lines correctly, and then use the reference line to find the other point. Always I recommend zooming in and out as necessary just to get the correct point. Now we finished this part, and we need to create the part down. As you see from the picture here, this circle diameter is 1.312 and 1.562, and this line's coming from the lines inside. Okay, these two lines. So let's grab these two lines and pick that point. So these two. Let's get a line, and here you go. I'll grab this point, track it, and the distance here is 0.25. Get down. Also, if you don't like to track it, so you do have to make some calculation and figure out. Now, this part I can repeat and track this point, or I can mirror. I'm gonna use mirror for this, so let's click on mirror, select objects. I'll select these objects, hit enter to finish selecting. Now select the axis point. Make sure you're selecting the middle point here, and this is the axis. Then hit enter to leave both parts. Okay, so we finished that part of the section view. Now let's continue drawing some circles there, and also we're gonna drag some points. If we go closer, here we have some dimensions. Diameter 188, and this is the diameter 0.44 times 82. So here we have the two diameters. Let's draw these two circles over there. And these two circles, one of them they are two layers, two separate layers. So let's go center diameter and pick the same center. And here you go, we need a 0.88, and let's do that again. And here you go, 0.188, okay. And this is the second circle, the same, and here 0.44. So this is the two circles. Also, let's get some dimensions from the other picture here. We have diameter 0.25 and 0.75. So this is the 75, we need to draw it, and the two circles 25. Let's go to center diameter, 0.75, okay, and here we need two circles, and this is the center here, and the diameter 0.25. Let's copy this circle. Okay, now let's move these circles to the correct layers. So this one should be with the dashed, and here this two should be with the hidden. Okay, here you go. We still have one more circle, and here we have the diameter. Let's look at the picture. As you see there, the diameter is 1.188. Again, this is duplicated, so you don't have to draw it twice. You just draw it one time, and then we change the layers. Now, here we need to draw the last one, and here let's move to the hidden and circle diameter. Be sure to get the center or the correct point, and we need to put 1.188. Here you go, we finished that part. Now what I will do, I need to copy this part and put it on the other side. Let's move, I'm gonna move this part here just to make it easier for me. Get it away from the drawing. And also I'm gonna move that part as well. Okay, now I'm gonna lock the dashed layer so I don't copy it. Now I'm gonna copy, I'll select this part, enter, and I'll move in and just paste it over there. Okay, so here you go, I got this part. Now let's look closer. I need to copy this circle. So let's unlock, copy this circle because it was locked, so I didn't copy it. And here you go. Now let's change the layers of the circles to match the drawing. These circles should go to that one, and we have the second, the third, this one, and this one should go to hidden. This one, move it to this layer, and these two as well. Okay, this one also should be hidden. So you can select any one and move it to the correct layer using this way. Also, this dashed line, I need to expand it a little bit using the grips. When you go over the grip, you can expand that one. Let's make a line here on the dashed. I can zoom a little out from this point. Okay, now I could go down. Here you go. So we finished that part. Let's, I think here we can, okay, we can trim, make some trimming here. Then we can delete the lines. Okay, here you go. We created this 3 views. Now let's do some other things to this section. We need to grab other points. Let's move on to the section, the correct layer. Then you go line, and here you go. We need to grab this point to track it. Okay, and this section here, let's see, the distance is 0.125. 0.125. Then you go down and you can track the other point and go closer. Okay, here you go. So we finished this one. Also, what else here? We need to track some more points coming from the side view. So let's track these 2 circles. Okay, go line. Pick the point, and this is point 12. Enter. Track the circle down, and here you go. Let's mirror this. You can track the other circle or just mirror. So select, enter, then put the axis and hit enter to accept the second one. Now the last thing here, we need to track the circle inside. So line. And here you put point 188. Then you go down and track the rest, the other point. Track carefully and make it vertical. Then get the point here. Here you go. Now let's move to the dashed layer. Get a line from the middle, and we need here some lines. Okay, enter. Get the line from the middle point. Okay, so we got here some lines. Now let's move to the hatch layer, and then click on the hatch in the home tab, the draw panel. This is hatch. Okay, and that will open up the contextual panel just to choose. And this is the hatch that we used here. Okay, and then you click on the part just to fill it in. If it happened to need to change the angle, you can change it from there, but let's make it as it is. Also the hatch transparency, you can modify it. And here is the hatch, how the scaling. Okay, if you need it more condensed, so you can make it smaller, or if you need it a little bit further, so you can change the scaling. If you need more options for the hatch, you can click on the hatch setting, and here you can change other options of your hatch. And this is the angle, again, you find it there. You can find the scaling, and you can find several things to change the hatch. Okay, so after you finish the hatch, you click on close, and here you go. The last thing that I need to put for this exercise is annotation. So let's put some annotation for that. The first thing, annotation should be on different layers. So if you're putting text or dimensions, so they should be in different layers. Let's get some dimensions there. Okay, if I go closer to put dimension, create a layer, make it current, then go to annotation tab, and here are the dimensions. If you click on this little arrow here, you do have some dimensions you can choose from. Also, you can use the quick, but I prefer to get this list. And if you need to get the radius, you click on the radius, and here you go. We need the radius of this fillet. Okay, and you click on it. Now, as you see here, the radius is 2 decimal points, and I need it to be 3. In order to change the precision for this, you can go to the dimension style by clicking on this little arrow on the top and manage dimension styles, or by clicking on this little arrow. This is the standard. You can create new styles if you need to use new of them, or you just change whatever the style that you're using. I'm gonna modify it for this exercise, but usually you need to create more styles, as you need to change the precision, you need to change the size of the text, the height, the symbols, or whatever the arrowhead, you need to change that. So you can feel free to create as many styles as you want. And here from the primary unit, you see that I have the precision 2 decimal places. I will make that 3 decimal places, so I have more decimal places when I go. Okay, you can do the same thing if you have angular. You can change that to make it 3 decimals for any angular ones. So this is for 2, whatever you're using. Then you click OK, set current, and close. So here we got 3 decimal points. We'll do here, we need the diameter. So let's go to diameter, and you click on the circle. See here, you put the diameter. Let's make another one. This is the angular. If you need the angle between, before that, let's grab this, make it a little bit longer as it is in that picture. Now, here you go to angular, pick 2 lines. Okay, and here you go. Now, as you see here, it's 22.500 because we changed that on the top. Let's do it again, and the change, let's modify. And here we don't need that to be this way. We just need 1 decimal place, so 1 0 after the decimal point. And here is OK, set current, close. So this is 22.5. Okay, now let's make another angular. We need this line and this line, and here you go. Now, as you see, this one has 1 decimal point, and this one has 1 decimal point. Actually, the picture that we have doesn't have any decimal point. So here you have 2 options. You can create a different style and apply it, or if you need to change just one, you don't need to create a decimal style, just select it with left click, then go to precision and make it 1. Okay, so if you don't need to create additional style, just select it, right click, choose precision, and change the decimal points as required. Now let's put here some more dimensions. I'm gonna use linear, and for this exercise I'll go from this point to this point. Let me see here. Okay, or here probably they need these 2 between this and the center actually. So here this and this center. Okay, as you see, it's 3 decimal points after that. If the text is too big or too small, remember that you can change the text from there. And this is from the text. This is the height of the text. If I make that bigger, the text here, the numbers will be bigger. Symbols and arrow, if the arrow is too small, you can make it larger from this number. Okay. Let's put some dimensions here. I will get some linear dimensions from the top. Okay. Now, as you see, this is 2.500, and the one that I have is 2.50. So either you create a new style or right-click, select it, right-click, and change the precision. Okay. Also, in the picture, we do have here a diameter, and this, we get the diameter for circles, and this is not a circle, this is a linear. It will not come up, so you cannot get it automatically. You have to type it. To override, you can get dd edit command, or just double click on it simply, and that will open it. Then at the beginning, you can go to the symbol and find the diameter from the symbol list, or the shortcut is %C. Okay, you can hit the space bar to give a space if you want it there, or just leave it this way. So here we go. We just edit that dimension. We can get some of the other dimensions there. Okay, and as you see here, we need to enter. So double click on the dimension, type %C, and here you go. You can add the rest of the dimensions the same way. Now I just need to say here something. Also, let me do this dimension before I move on. Let's make this part here. Okay, as you see here, it's 0.620. I can change that, right click precision, and this is we need 2 decimal places. If it happened that you have 0.62 and you don't need the 0, you need it to be this way, also you can get it from modify the dimension style, and this is the 0 suppression. Just check that one, so you take off the 0 of the leading 0. Okay, if you put that in, so you'll get a 0 before the number. If you check it, you'll not get the 0. Okay, so here you go. Now you can put the rest of the dimensions the same way. Let me go to the other part. Here I'm gonna move on to another part. Let's make it text. And I need to put some multi-leader here. Show you how to get the multi-leader as well. So click on multi-leader, and I will pick a point here. If the object snap is not working with you, you can check the nearest, okay? And here you get the nearest part just to put a multi-leader here. And you can type here the text that you wanna. So I'm gonna type decimal C, then 0.250 times 0.12 deep on decimal C 0.750 BC. Then hit enter, then 2 holes. When you finish typing, you can click outside. Okay, so this is how to get that one with a leader. You can do the same thing by going to the other one, and this is a multi-leader. And here we do have this for this circle. Okay, make sure you are picking the correct point and use the middle button of your mouse just to zoom in and out. Then you can put it here as is there. Decimal C for the diameter 0.188, and then you continue typing. Then C. Okay. Okay. And here you just put the text, then you click outside. So as you see here, the last thing here, the diameter, it's just dimension. So you can go back to the dimensions and you get that automatically, the dim layer, and annotate. And here you have the diameter. Okay, you click on that and you click. Now remember that when you click on each diameter, you have a grip. When it's hot, it's red. You have several options that you can modify. Like if you need to move a dim line, you can move it. If you need to move text only, you can move the text only. So here you can reset it, reset text position, and that will bring it back. So you can actually from that move your dimension and modify it. The last diameter here, click diameter, and this is what we have. Okay. Also, you can put some more linear dimensions over there. Okay. You can put some linear dimensions, and remember always when you can change the layers if you want by clicking on them, then selecting the layer. If you do something a mistake and you need to undo, you enter. Always you can do you enter. Okay, this is all for this exercise. I hope you enjoyed it. So I covered most of the elements of this exercise. I hope I didn't miss a lot of them. I hope you enjoyed it and you've learned the new skills. Looking forward to working with you again in new video. Thank you for watching.